Hello guys, welcome back once again to another tutorial session. Now in this tutorial we are going to have a look at how we can manipulate files and folders through the command line interface, that is gitbash in this case. So without wasting much time, let's dive in guys. Okay guys, so now before we move straight to using our gitbash terminal, let's first of all have a look at some basic things to know. Now, gitbash is a command line interface terminal that comes with bash, and bash also comes with the $sign prompt. Now, um, a prompt is a sequence of characters or a character which indicates that your terminal is ready for the next or your next input. So anytime you see this $sign in your terminal, it means your terminal is ready for your next command or your next input. Okay, so now anytime you hear directory, we are talking about a folder. So if you hear subdirectories, it means subfolders, and subfolders are also folders that are contained in other folders, right? Okay, now if you see a single dot or if you see a period, we are talking about the current directory, which means the directory we are currently in, or we are now using, or we are now manipulating. All right, so if you see two dots also, we are talking about the parent directory. So if you have folder A and folder B, and if you have folder B in folder A, then folder A is the parent directory of folder B, and folder B is also a subdirectory in folder A. All right, let's move on. Don't worry, all these will make sense to you. All these will make sense to you when we use our command line interface too. Okay, so now we'll be making use of the home directory, and it is represented with the tilde sign. I don't know how to pronounce this, whether it is tilde or tilde, right? So the home directory is denoted or represented with the tilde sign, and also the root directory is denoted with a slash sign or the / sign. Now, the difference between the home and the root directory is that the home directory is the directory of the user. Of if you have multiple users on your computer, um, individual users will have their own home directories, right? So if user A and user B are using the same computer, then user A will have his or her own directory, and user B also have his or her own directory. So each of these users will have their own home directories, because user B might have his or her own files, music, games, and whatever, and also the other user might also have his or her different programs and files, which you can't mix up. You understand? So each of these users would have their own home directories on the same computer. All right, so now the root directory is the mother of all directories in a folder. So I don't want to confuse you, so I'm not going to dive into the root directory now. But all what you need to know is that the root directory is the topmost directory, which contains all the subdirectories. So there you have it, guys. You have the home directory, which contains the files, programs of a single user on a computer, and we have the root directory, which contains all the subdirectories on a computer. So anytime you log into your computer, you would be using your home directory, right? And your home directory is also contained in the topmost directory known as the root directory. Let's move on, guys. Alright guys, so now let's have a look at this simple hierarchy of files and folders um, on our screen. Let's assume we have this hierarchy of folders on our computer. So we have folder A, folder B, folder C, D, E, and F. And you also have files or programs, namely 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So now with this hierarchy, folder A is the parent or the root folder for all the other folders. So folder A contains folder B, C, and folder D, E, and F. But before you move to folder D, you can't just move from A to D. You first of all have to move from A to B and then to D, as you can see on your screen. As you can see on your screen, there's a file path on your screen right now. So you would have A/B and then /D, and now you can have access to programs and files, namely 1, 2, and 3, which are contained in folder D, right? So now folder A is a root folder for all the other folders on your computer, and folder B is also the parent directory for D and then E, and folder C is also the parent directory for F. So before you move to folder F, you can't just move from A and then to F. But if you are in folder C, then you can have access to the folder F. So if you are the topmost hierarchy, which is folder A, then you first of all have to move from A to C to F. As you can see on your screen, you would have A/C and then /F. So folder F is a subdirectory in folder C, and folder C is also a subdirectory in folder A. And folder B and folder C are also siblings, right? Which are contained in the same root directory known as folder A. So with this, we can see that the root directory for all the folders is folder A, and then we have folder B and C, which are also subdirectories in folder A, and then we have folder D and E, which are subdirectories of folder B, and then we have folder F, which is a subdirectory of folder C. Now don't worry about this. Now all this will make sense when we start making use of the command line interface tool, which is gitbash in this case. So now if you want to move to the program called for, then you first of all have to move from B to E. But if you are not in folder B and if you are in folder A, then you first of all have to move to folder B before you can move to folder A. So now this is an example of what we call subdirectories and directories. So directories are folders which contain other folders, and the other folders which are contained in the directory is known as, or are known as, subdirectories. So there you go, guys. This is a simple hierarchy of how folders and files are arranged in directories. So let's move to our Windows operating system and start making use of the command line interface tool, which is gitbash. See you soon, guys. Hello guys, welcome back to my Windows 10 operating system. Now before we start using gitbash, we need to launch gitbash. Now some of you might have it on your desktop as a shortcut, and most of you don't have. Now if you don't have, all what you need to do is go to your search box and then you type the name gitbash, right? Gitbash, then you press enter. Okay, now here is my gitbash. Now if you are not okay with your font size, you can change it. So all what you need to do is go to your top most section in your terminal right here and right click and then choose options. Now click on text and then select. Alright, so in the next dialog box, you have the option to change the font family, the font size, and also the font size. So I'm going to choose Fira Code because I love Fira Code. You can choose any font family you want or any font style you want. So I have Fira Code right here. I'm going to choose medium and then I'm going to choose 24. Now click on OK, and then you save. Now don't apply. If you apply, it's gonna save it for only this session. So let's try that. So let me see, or mistakenly you clicked on apply. All right, now close this dialog box and then close your gitbash. Now try opening it again. So we have gitbash. As you can see, we are back to our default font size. So let's do that again, but this time around let's click on save. So you go to the top section, you right click, you choose option, you choose text, then select, and then Fira Code again. If you don't have Fira Code, it's not compulsory to choose Fira Code, but if you don't have Fira Code, you can choose any font you want, but I'm going to go with Fira Code. I choose medium for the font style, and then 24 or 28, let's say 28 for the font size, and then I choose OK, and then I save, right? All right, so now this is my new font size and my font style. So let me close it again and then launch gitbash. All right, so as you can see, it has saved it for subsequent sessions. So see you in the next video, guys. We are going to go through some cool commands that we are going to use to manipulate files and folders. See you soon, guys.